So I find physics interesting, but it's not. Gosh, you know, it's hard to get around it. And the only thing I like astronomy and cosmology. That's one of the things that's interesting. But there again, you know, if you get into the nuts and the bolts of it, it's just incomprehensible. The average person can't pick it up. You know, because the scientists only talk in their terms and not in the terms that people can understand. But I do find neuroscience is a little bit different because, you know, like with the Scientific American article, it was clear, you know, people, you know, science knows very little about thinking, you know, thought and thinking, maybe in 100 or 200 years, but it's virtually an unknown field. You know, no, clueless as to why. I mean, literally clueless, don't really understand it at all. Know a lot about cell structures and so forth, but very little about how, for instance, a thought is generated. But I find neuroscience and psychology, philosophy, and then astronomy, cosmology, and the other's anthropology and evolution. Because a lot's coming out on that. For instance, in the same issue that I was reading there, the Scientific American, they were talking about the paleo, first paleo Native Americans, and it's been pushed back. It used to be 13,000, now it's like 16,000 years ago. And I want to say
well, there's some, I thought that they already established some as far as 50,000 years.
Not in North America, not according to the article there.
Okay.
I think in Tulum they found some, believe it or not, underwater that were something like 11,000 years old. And in those underground streams, and I guess the underground rivers there, it must be cold enough or whatever conditions that it preserves them like mummies. Yeah, and they found them when they were exploring those underground rivers under Tulum. Yeah.
That. Wow.
So we may have you know, I'm certain we have underground rivers running where we are. It's all Swiss cheese there.
Right.
It's all limestone. Our water table's at about 15 feet, 5 meters, which is you know, pretty good. I mean, our well in town is only 5 meters down. But a lot of Yucatan, it's 30 meters, 30 to 50 meters down. And that's problematic for poor people because you can't. So they're in Valladolid, our friends, they have one on their little communal farm plot that they share with their neighbors, and it takes 3 guys 1 month working every day to dig a 60-foot well by hand. Well, I shouldn't say they use it totally by hand because what they use is dynamite sticks to blow up the rock.
Oh, okay. 60 feet is a long way, man.
Through the rock it is, yeah.
Oh, God.
3 guys working every day. I mean, that means you go maybe 2 meters a day.
They do that, that's really cheap in itself. But with the dynamite...
With the dynamite, yeah, you blow it, you have to use the dynamite, otherwise you wouldn't, you know.
I once worked on a fence out in Idaho with my dad, and it was like almost solid rock, and I remember that, you know, we just had to go down a foot to put these steel posts in, and that took forever with just crowbars and rods and whatnot. Oh, man. Of course, sometimes we didn't even bother, we just put up rock jacks. That was a lot of work.
Well, they use dynamite in Yucatan there. Otherwise, you're not gonna. The other thing to use the dynamite for is to kill fish.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, you throw them in the water, and the shock will kill the fish. One of our neighbors said he did it, and it was like thousands of fish they killed. They didn't realize what they were doing.
That could be an environmental disaster.
Yeah, he said it was. He said they realized what they did after they did it.
Go ahead and go right here.
I'm glad you're telling me here, because I wouldn't. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to pick it up there. So is this northern Austin here? Or?
Pretty much. We're going to cross over into Pflugerville in the next 5 or 2.
So this is where the tech section is, huh?
Yeah. Lots of Dell plants. Dell's back there
No.
There's more Dell, yes.
I see Dell over there, yeah.
He was quite a phenomenon. Started out at UT as a freshman, dormitory, Jester dorm.
Well, I think they were moving a lot of this over to China, though. Wasn't that the big stink?
I wouldn't doubt it.
That's where I was reading about Dell. Yeah, they were gonna.
By the time everybody else knows about it, you know, it's already been done.
Yeah. Straight at the light, or?
Yeah.
It's got some big buildings here, that's for sure.